And the answer is only one. Just the Ling has been taken and out. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the drafting phase of game number 5, the final game of the series presented to you by the official tournament smartphone Samsung Galaxy. And look at the insta adjustment.
Wow.
Ruby, just that prio for Geek Fam right now for them to take in that first phase. And Onyx respond with an Edith.
Edith out of nowhere here for Onyx.
But I do know my
I think
trade.
they're noticing that they need utility, they need tankiness, but they also need that versatility for maybe an extra bit amount of damage. The Edith can fill in those shoes, but it's very situational. And Geek now going for the Natan themselves. Up against an Edith, technically the same kind of style, rapid fire, magical damage. Noticing the hyper carry in the background for Geek Fam though, Onyx must be looking at trying to get rid of that Florin. We've seen what it could do in the previous few games. I think right now Onyx do not want to deal with it.
Yeah, I mean, Florin is just so expensive in the hands of Voloisky, right? So much value. But the trend is, this series especially, the team that picked up the Natan loses. So, Geek Fam, are they trying to break that trend? They surely are, but oh my goodness. Wow. Another Barca first face pick for Onyx.
This is quite bold by Onyx, right? Because technically, the Barats and the Ruby can still be flexed around. Barats can still be flexed into the EXP lane, and if they do that, the Ruby can still be placed in the roam for Voloisky.
For sure.
So they don't know if the Masha can still pop up yet or not, unless they want to go for the bans right here, right now, to take it away from Luke. I mean, we saw what he was able to do on the Masha, and the fact that they were able to eliminate the entire artillery, the entire purpose of the Barca was just tragic to see, especially for King Sans himself.
It does seem like when Sans can find ways to be impactful, Onyx just do a lot better. We've said that a lot in previous games, but in this game, in these few games in particular, also very much important. Looking at the bans though, Hellkurt for the side of Onyx, and the Fanny ban away finally for the side of Geek Fam. So both teams respecting the potential of an assassin making a surprise appearance.
What do you think about the Nolan? Do you think the Nolan could pop up here for Onyx?
It can, but against a Ruby, that is a risky preposition. With how fast the skills are off cooldown, the AoE, it's kind of easy to land on the Nolan, and he's just not as safe. He has a lot of mobility, and we saw how Annabelle, despite being up against crowd control, can position himself and maneuver around well enough to ensure that he can find opportunities to get those solo kills without being threatened by some kind of catch from his opponents.
Never extinguishes.
Yeah, I mean, there you go, right? Masha is too much of a nuisance, especially in the hands of Luke. They will not deal with that this game, the last game. Let's see here, Geek, what will they go for here for that last ban, right? Florin is still on the board, so I'm sure that Geek Fam might pick it up later on. But what do you go here? Oh my god. And Paquito, it's 100% Paquito ban, right, this series?
Paquito? In the last game, yes. Paquito, yeah.
Yeah, no
Paquito has completely been taken out as an option for Lutfi to pick up for himself.
Seems like Geek just don't like boxing. Just are not willing to try and get into with that. And technically they've been going with the Explorers, right? And Paquito is a tough matchup for the Explorer to try and go up against. So now, going for the Baxia, seems like it's gonna be maneuverability. So Onyx are trying to impose the same kind of high tempo gameplay, and Geek, oh, they show their cards, man. A ton of sustain.
So much. You get the Netherrealm from the Faramis in these team fights, and you also get the Blooms coming through for Florin. That level 4 power spike is lethal here. So definitely, even if they went for an assassin, that's so much miscalculation. That probability is so large that the Baxia is a safer pick. But how do you shred through that much sustain is the question. Now that they already picked up the Cloud, they already picked up the Farsa as well. Here, EXP lane is left open, right? Or
still, even can be Rome, can be XP, right? So this is what they're discussing, I believe. But remember the Baxia here, at its purpose, right? It negates, remember the passive negates the healing, extra dominance, ice free.
Right.
So let's see, will it be enough though, is the question.
Well, the extra
Gets the
question
Florin.
layered on top of that, Connie, is also that the Florin can remove the healing reductions.
Yeah.
So that's also another factor. But with the X-Borg and Edith, we've seen this before when a team goes for all the sustain, but the other team goes for even more damage. With Edith and X-Borg, if they're not really too far behind, there's still a lot more damage than expected coming out from the side of Onyx. So Geek Fam, even if they do have all these sustain tools, in the right situation, especially if they're clumping up together, they still need to be aware, or they need to be aware of the damage coming in from the other members, aside from the gold leader of Onyx.
The last chance for the King Slayers here in this best of 5 series to bring down the reigning champions, the Kings of Kings, the King Skies, the Kings of the Galaxy, the Kings of the Sea, all the titles of the sea here held by Fnatic Onyx. Can they do it? Can they recover? Can they prolong their reputation of taking down royalty? Let's get into the Land of Dawn, ladies and gentlemen, for the final game of this series.
Upper bracket slots is at stake, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see, Geek Fam and Fnatic Onyx for the last time today.
Seems like there's going to be a lot of action. As for now, it seems like Onyx are the ones who have the lead when it comes to the speed in rotating towards these neutral objectives. The Litho is a small victory. Looking at the emblems right here by GamesMax, you can see that Luke going for a bit of tankiness from the firmness and of course the Festival of Blood. So he's trying to be sustainable and around in these fights. Poloisky with the Bargain Hunter. Whoa, hang on.
Early purifying, early aggressive rotation. Sans even committed the wings by wings. Not to a fruition though, still killless in game 5.
They're trying to put pressure onto Chidera. They're trying to put pressure onto the Natan. Noticing that the Natan is so weak, so vulnerable in this early game, but Sans is quick to rotate back down.
Ooh.
They wanted to go in for the pressure, forcing a Purify out there actually earlier on in the first 2 minutes of the game. That's no Purify for the next neutral objective.
It's a big trend we're seeing right now. The mid laner getting ganks from the roamer and the jungle. It's never really a 1v1 Keyboy though.
Oh, Daytona's welcome, finds the mark, and damage will come through. Ray collects the first blood in the game. Geek Fam will push the pedal on the gas here towards that turtle. Bottom side, Luke actually here. Actually chunked as well. Now, Kyrie jumps in with the Buissons on towards the turtle. Feather airstrike and the retribution will find the turtle as well. First Newt goes in hands of the Fnatic Onyx.
They had one member down. Keyboy was not there to help with the setup, nor is he level 4 just yet. So that was the perfect setup for Geek, honestly, but they lost control of the retribution battle.
Just again, great performance from Kyrie right there, showing that his retribution has been solid and it will be solid still for this game. Now with Chidera, with the entropy, just trying to play a dangerous, tempting Onyx in a very dangerous way. Look at Ray, spending a lot of time just sitting around right here. Usually you see junglers power farm, constantly being active, but now they're both waiting around for that Litho, it seems. Showing again how intense and how one single jungle camp can make a big difference in this matchup.
A boy here is receiving a lot of damage. Bloom was pushed as well. So that's info. No ult for the Florin.
Not just Florin, but also for a boy there. He was forced to utilize the Netherrealm earlier on, and Keyboy already very annoying. Giving information, giving scouting for his team, for the farming rotation coming in from Ray, and that's information as well for Onyx to try and look for more pressure in the top side of the map.
Yeah, the player head-to-head here by our application GoPay. Aboy and Sans actually quite similar when it comes to their stats, and that's what people have been talking about. Aboy is one of the contenders for that best mid lane spot that usually is just dominated by Sans. So you're seeing that there's a lot of new names in the mix. And even if you are quote-unquote the best, you have to be aware, man. People are trying their best and they have been catching up.
Catching up with a target on your back, it's a harder time to try and stay consistent as being number one, and Geek are proving exactly that. A lot more play on towards this neutral objective.
Oh, feather airstrike to deal on towards Ray. Now Kyrie receives a lot of damage as well here. Stunned up. Luke though will be the target. Nether realm popped from side of Geek fam. Boy, oh, the damage will pop the Rival rather finds the kill. Yeah, boy, very low. Kyrie secures it. 2 members down and up from side of Geek fam, which allows the Fnatic Onyx to grab that turtle.
Keyboy already on the way to try and disrupt Ray, but they don't go for it. That's a free neutral objective, a perfect neutral objective. Taken in for once again the defending champions, Fnatic Onyx.
Without their gold in the picture, they can't really match up to the DPS output. CW though!
Oh, placing the wets. Feather airstrike as well, and good night, Chidera. Baloyski able to escape, but the first turret here, top lane, is almost down. But Fnatic Onyx now with the economy lead.
1,200 right now. I wonder what the items are looking like. That was nearly a takeaway, but still unable to get it.
The big point here is I think that Ray has the Radiant Armor already completed, so he's gonna be a bit tankier, walking in, especially against the magic damage. But Luke, against Ludwig, just feeling the pressure of that X-Borg. Already with the War Axe completed, more penetration, more movement speed technically for the chase, for the maneuverability, and you're seeing that being so useful in the middle of the back and forth. And you see this as a trend, the Kyrie going with the Brute Force Breastplate, no Molten Essence either.
Will it finds its mark? 3v4, it seems like Onyx will not commit on towards that, and Geek fam smells the threat top lane.
Did you see Ray's items earlier on?
Steel leg plates as well as the Radiant Armor for Ray. So he's actually worried a lot more about the magical damage coming in, especially from Keyboy, I believe, because for now, the gold Eaters won't really be in the picture just yet. That Primal Wrath is what's really shredding them down, so the Radiant Armor will help with that, but he's getting picked off a bit too early.
Oh, looking isolated. Last Insanity and Flicker will save his life, though. But Geek fam, they will not be able to find another kill here just yet.
They're trying to find a way to funnel more gold into Jadera to get him to that power spike as fast as possible, but with that burns out Purify coming in from Luffy, that actually gets denied away from them. A 2k gold lead still for Onyx, and you can see Kyrie is already onto the neutral objective. I don't think this can be contested. They're late to the party, they're late to the dance, they're late to the tango, and they're late to pick up that snowball that perhaps they were looking for that mid-game power spike.
It's the speed, man. Onyx is just outspeeding the members of Geek, always faster to every single objective. Baloyski now picking up the Flash Oasis first item though will mean that there's more sustainability in a fight, but when it comes to damage output, it's still gonna be quite lacking unless Chidera joins in. Even if they want to use Luke as a damage dealer on that Ruby, it's gonna be so difficult to match up to the X-Borg. Although Luke already has the War Axe, so he still does a decent amount of damage for now.
Okay, Chidera picks up the Starlium Scythe, so that's 2 on the way, but Kyrie says, no, you're not gonna get your 3rd.
Somehow has the entropy to get out. Seems like Geek family will again take their time. They understand that they are in a disadvantage. But oh my goodness, boy, pops in the realm. The Fnatic Onyx, they move onwards. Ethan is welcome, committed on towards Keyboy. The damage will not take him down just yet, but it will be enough to clear the wave mid lane.
And right now, both turrets in the bottom and top side for Geek has been taken out. So if this mid one falls as well, there's going to be more avenues for Fnatic Onyx to just run around and flank. And now look at this. Geek fam engaging.
Yep. Oh my goodness, damage will be enough to take Luke down. Now Ray will be the juicy target. Dino will not survive, surely. Sad secures it. Keyboy low, Kyrie with the Resistance trying to get away. A boy smell blood, but does not connect just yet. 2 kills already again for FNOC.
That was so unfortunate. A boy would have been able to get that trade over onto Kyrie, but he went for Purify in this game and not the Flicker. And he couldn't catch up to the rate that Kyrie was fleeing. A 2-0 trade in that exchange. And with that being said, oh, another airstrike already used up as the Lord spawns. That's a resource already burnt out before they go for the Tango.
You're gonna need that, man, at this kind of game. Every single bit will count. And Ludwig, this damage coming from the X-Borg is one other thing that they have to keep in mind. Even though Ray is trying to itemize against Keyboy, against Sans as well, that X-Borg damage really adds up a lot, and Ludwig is very willing to stay there and trade damage for damage as they're walking around. The sustain from Baloyski will make it more beneficial for Geek Fam to trade without a conclusive decision for the big fights. But right now, look at Onyx. They're the ones controlling the pace. They have the mid turret taken as well, so they can go for weird flanks right here. But CW is the one that's isolated.
There's a lot of pressure onto Geek right now. Ray is a level below of Kyrie, 2 levels below of Kyrie at this point. So they need to figure out how to make this battlefield even, because even when they were at the same level, it seemed like Kyrie was still able to get these retributions down. But the clock is ticking. Chidera.
Oh, Purify, but the damage will come through. Chidera finds his solo. Now it's a 5v4 without the marksman on it. They will back off, but they will try to buy time perhaps for this Lord take. Mind you, this is the first Lord. Fnatic on it, still hovering around Keyboy. I'm offended towards this guy, but he survives. Fnatic on it again, just trying to buy a lot of time here with Luffy in the vicinity as well. Trying to perhaps pop that last deciding Sans in good position with the wings by wings. Feather airstrike onto the boy towards the Purify, but no! Ray finds the Lord, and that will be another dub for Fnatic on it.
They were doing everything that they could, ladies and gentlemen. They were even able to take down CW. And even with those odds, Kyrie is still able to get that retribution down and to get that Lord for themselves. So unfortunate for Geek.
Geek Fam is not happy about that whatsoever, man. For Christopher Chidera, but in the hang on a minute.
Damage will come through towards Chidera. That will be all. No casualties yet. Lord watching top lane.
As I was saying, man, it's just such a clean take because they send Ludwig to zone everyone away, and they use the primal rat from Keyboy to just burst the Lord down. And I think Geek Fam weren't expecting that extra bit of damage that allowed Kyrie to immediately take it away. And now with the Star Leo for Keyboy as well, he's a damage dealer.
He's going aggressive. Extremely aggressive. But remember,
I'm offended whips. Fnatic taking their time. They know that's just the first Lord. They don't need to force anything just yet. Let's take all the inners. If they don't have, there's no window, let's just back away.
back to that point, right? Aggression. Chidera has now secured this third item. I think that was the Holy Crystal for him.
It's a massive power spike for sure. So he'll be doing a lot of damage, but the question is, will he be allowed to do so? With the Feather Airstrike, with earlier, we just saw it earlier, the last Insanity. Everyone just barreled away, not willing to take the damage coming in from that X-Borg. That is the value that you can get, especially against a Barats. It's a well-known counter we've talked about so often, but now we're seeing it really big for the good use. Whenever Lupi walks forward, Ray immediately just backs away.
Still has a Graga armor. Now we'll lose it though. Oh my goodness. Take a look at the Chidera now. Right deal damage. CW will find the blazing duet, but Keyboy will fall first. Now Fnatic Onyx running for the hill. That's Geek Fam. They want business. Lupi low. CW able to find space to get out. But Geek Fam, they still want blood. But they will take the mid lane turret first.
Did Keyboy get a Earth Shatter on more than one member earlier on? Was that the knockup? Was that where it came from?
It has to be. I don't see any other knockups available for Fnatic Onyx. But look at Geek Fam, really barreling through just with the roamer advantage.
Yeah, the timing couldn't be more perfect as well. 20 seconds towards the Lord. Last Insanity will try and deal hefty damage. But with the Bloom, Geek Fam, they are now back at full HP. Fnatic Onyx slowly but surely getting out of their own jungles, but the lore now is up. Still 4,000 gold benefiting Onyx.
Oh, divine glaive for Chidera. But he has to be careful, right? He's going full damage, full glass cannon, and the problem is Sans just picked up the Holy Crystal as well. So they're banking on utilizing the range and the burst potential from Sans to get Chidera in the back line.
Purified, caught by a boy. Fnatic Onyx looking to reposition, especially CW. Lupi though, on another angle. Recipient of that Daytona as well. Can lose some more Firaga armor, but take a look at Keyboy in the backside. Another round committed, but Chidera is just feeding alongside CW. Now, CW blazing duets on towards a boy's face, but Ray will fall. No retribution for Geek Fam. That's a green light for Fnatic Onyx to take on the Lord.
Let's see, 4v4 situation right now. Lutfi caught very low. The Viraga armor does come back up, and Luca does get this, but there's no follow-up. Chidera was still 2 behind, and it looks like CW now going to be focusing on trying to get that slow push in the top side towards their benefit. But neither teams want to go for this. They're going for another reset in this 15th minute of the game.
It's a bold play by Keyboy though. Flickering with the Earth Shatter, hitting the whole backline of Geek Fam. Unfortunately, he had to be taken out. He's just not tanky enough with that Starlium build, but he definitely was a big problem in the backline. If that kind of fight happens again, Geek Fam have to respond by taking him out. They cannot let him free hit like that. Now it's back to the waiting game. Luke tries to make the play happen, but it did not land.
I know I'm offended here for the next 10-15 seconds. Fnatic Onyx now. They are together. And the Geek Fam, they right response, right? They just back away. And with this, just not a lot of time. Now a boy though, this time will pop and force the bloom early. Perhaps that's a green light for Fnatic Onyx to really commit on towards his Lord.
But remember, the Netherrealm is still available if they want to utilize that extra layer of sustainability in these team fights. But look at Claude, look at CW, keep an eye out for him.
Oh, Lutpi, oh, immortality is still there, but now, with the help of the Feather Airstrike, will it be enough? Lutpi trying to survive, trying to sustain last insanity. Will it be enough? Geek Fam running for the hills as Keyboy finds an angle. CW in the bottom side of the map with the split push finds the base. And this time, Fnatic Onyx, with their new armor, they have defended their throne.
The defending champions, the Sky Kings, the kings of the galaxy, remain untouched. Their throne remains unchallenged as they move forward in their playoff run, as they move forward in the upper brackets. And the King Slayers, the Geeks, they are forced to continue their journey from down below.
What a conclusion. It was so intense that we did not see it coming. The Sky King refuses to lose, forcing the King Slayers to fight their way back from the lower bracket. It's a denial, but Geek Fam will still be around. For Onyx, though, that is a statement made. We're a different kind of king.
It looked shaky there. It looked worrisome for a bit. But they still remain persistent. They still remain determined to defend what is rightfully there.
Geek Fam, their job is not done. They can still fight their ways off the lower brackets. But what a series.
What a series indeed. A full best of 5.
Full best of 5.
That's kind of been the trend so far for the playoffs. First match, full best of 5 series.
Will it be the same for the second match though?
I don't know.
Compared to the first day.
I mean, technically, Bigatron and Evos, that's going to be a nail biter as well. And that's exactly the point, right? Geek falling to the lower brackets, one more life, and they have to either face Evos or Bigatron. Those are not easy opponents either.
Not at all. I would say at this point, there's not a single easy opponent in this in MPLID Season 13 playoffs, man. Every single one has their own skill sets, their own real threats. I think they just want to make sure, teams just want to make sure they go in that upper bracket, they stay up there. And it's fortunate for Onyx that they were able to do so.
And with that, let's take to our winner interview, ladies and gentlemen, with our defending champions, the villains of this season, Fnatic, Onyx.
Fnatic Onyx membuat seluruh Sonic dan juga Superfans berteriak dengan kemenangan yang begitu dramatis. Congratulations! Wow, luar biasa ya. Best of 5 series, semuanya diambil gamenya. Ini luar biasa dan cewek. Wow, apa yang terjadi tadi?
Yang terjadi menang sih.
Menang sih, bener sih, ya nggak salah. Namun, itu kan mungkin momen yang begitu mendebarkan. Kalian lagi di posisi unda-undi banget. Tapi gimana caranya kalian melihat kesempatan di posisi yang begitu mendebarkan?
Mungkin tadi Lutfi nih.
Lutfi nih,
Ya Lutfi.
apa yang dilakukan Lutfi?
Gue pegangin katanya.